Hey guys, welcome back to The Reach. It's been a hot minute since my last video. I've been, spring, kids' graduation, all kinds of things been going on. Anyway, I'm pretty excited to make this video. This should be a two-parter. This is going to be the first 25 book submission me and a buddy are putting into CGC. So in the first, we're kind of splitting it in half. I'm doing 12, he's doing 13. I'm going to run my books first. We'll talk about those, why I'm sending them in, what grades I expect. We're trying to beat that CGC submission window where they say apparently they're raising their prices here. I've heard some people say that if you get that in before, if you buy a year subscription before that, you'll be grandfathered in for the old prices. I've heard other people say it's not the truth, that the 28th is going to be the cutoff. Any books received after May 28th are going to be added to that higher price range. So either way, he'd already bought a CGC submission. We'd been planning on doing this. I finally got all my books pressed and cleaned. He's having CGC do some of his. He has some very high dollar books, so the part 2 of this video should be pretty interesting. They're all modern. But we'll walk through mine first. I'll tell you what I'm sending, why I'm sending it, what I'm going to keep, what I'm thinking of flipping, and what grades I expect. We'll see how well I can do this, so stay tuned. Thanks. Alright guys, starting off with the CGC submission, at least these first 12, that'll be part 1 of mine. We're going to start off with Darth Maul #2. This is the variant cover by Paul Renaud, I think his name is. Obviously Darth Maul #2, the first appearance of Cad Bane. If I remember right, cleaning these, I do the same thing everybody else does. You think everything's going to be a fantastic 9.2, and then as you start to clean and press yourself, if you're anal retentive like me, you start finding every little tiny detail, but hopefully I'm estimating at least a 9.6 or possibly a 9.8 on this. It's in pretty good shape. So this is again what I do when I do CGC submissions here is I anticipate months out, which is what I'm assuming most people do. I don't buy anything right, like I would never buy anything because we're currently running or just finished Falcon and the Winter Soldier, unless it was for my PC. But if you plan on flipping anything, you gotta prep that out. So I'm obviously anticipating a future with Cad Bane in some point popping up in something. So that's why I picked that. I also like the character. But that's going to be the first submission. I'm predicting a 9.6, 9.8 Darth Maul #2 variant cover by Paul Renaud. Alright, trying to be very careful with these because I have cleaned and pressed them already. #2 is going to be Rogue One. This is going to have the first appearance of oh god, what's his name? It's jumped right out of my head. So anyway, it's the first appearance of the robot, first appearance of Jin, first appearance of the guy that's with her, and his name, like I said, whenever I do these videos, it pops right out of my head when I was just thinking about it. Anyway, with the new Canto? Whatever. Anyway, with the new movie coming up, or the new TV show from Disney Plus, I think it's supposed to be based around Cassian. That's his name. Sorry, Cassian. And so this is the first appearance of him and several others, the robot, and I think Jenna or so. So I predict this one will probably do pretty good too. I'm getting another 9.6, 9.8 on that. So that'll be #2. #3 I have, excuse me, I'm bumping the camera as I work, is Spider-Man. This is the hip-hop variant, Spider-Man 2099 #1. Just kind of a cool cover. Spider-Man 2099 was hot there for a minute. This could be a PC book. I do enjoy these hip-hop variants. So we'll see if I get a high 9.8 on it, and I can sometimes just throw it on eBay or Mercari for something that I think is a price that's too good for me to hold on to it, and if it sells, it sells. If not, I got a cool book in my own PC. So that's that one. I've got 2 of these. So we've got Star Wars Grand Admiral Thrawn, the JTC covers. I believe, yep, I have 2 of them if they squeeze in there. And I'm anticipating these probably get the same grade again. Hopefully a 9.6, 9.8. They're in both good shapes. Good shape. Obviously, submitting these because of the mention of Grand Admiral Thrawn in the end of The Mandalorian there. So I'm anticipating his appearance in the next season. So I've got 2 of those JTC covers. This isn't his first appearance. That is an Heir to the Empire, which is coming up in a second. This is just that really cool cover that has him in that JTC, that action figure variant cover, and I happen to get lucky to pick up a couple. Again, I'm expecting a 9.6 or a 9.8 on those, so trying to be careful with these so I don't bang them. This is definitely a PC. I am a huge Green Lantern fan. This is the first it's Green Lantern 54, Kyle Rayner. This is the first appearance of Major Force. And as you can see, the real moneymaker down here is that DC Universe logo, which makes it all the more rare. I am having high hopes that this gets a 9.6 or a 9.8. It is in exceptional condition, the best condition of that I've found. This is the controversial issue where, for the time, it was very shocking. Kyle Rayner finds his girlfriend chopped up and shoved into the refrigerator at the end of it. Very 7-ish or something like that. It was pretty wild, especially for the time it came out. You know, we're pretty used to that kind of excessive gore and violence now, but at the time that was pretty wild. So that's definitely a PC. I'm expecting a 9.8 on that one. All right, this I got for a song. This I got for under $5 or $6. This is Star Wars Heir to the Empire. This is the first appearance of Grand Admiral Thrawn, which, going back to those other 2 JTC covers, this is his actual first appearance. It's also the first appearance of Luke Skywalker's wife, Mara Jade, if Disney Plus continues in that direction, which it looks like they've already kind of, I don't know how they'd work that through unless they do it a backstory, but obviously she's never been mentioned before. But she is also in that from the book storylines, the canon prior to Disney picking up Star Wars. So anyway, this is probably the most expensive book I have, this that I'm sending off anyway. This is, between $300 and $400 raw and a 9.8. I would love to say this would get a high 9.6 or a 9.8, but when I was cleaning it, like as you do when you start really inspecting them, there were a few marks and issues that I'm expecting, if I was to be realistic, I would say probably a 9.0 or a 9.2. Hopefully, of course, anything higher than that would be fantastic, but I'm not going to be one of those guys that loses his mind because I overestimate what I think something is going to be. It's always the key to not horribly disappointing yourself with a CGC submission, is keeping in realistic state of mind, that be aware of what your books probably will or won't get. That way you won't be crushed like some of those videos you see where a guy moves his hand and just loses his mind because he was sure something was going to be a higher grade. Anyway, moving on, and again, as I said before, submitting these at least 3 or 4 months out, since that seems to be the turnaround before any kind of movie comes out, with Thor Love and Thunder being the next major DC thing, or one of the next ones with Shang-Chi, and I don't know which one of those is supposed to come out first. This is the variant of Mighty Thor. I don't remember if this is Jane Foster's death or her first appearance. I think it might be her death, the 705, but I'd have to go back and check that. But obviously with Love and Thunder coming out, that is why I'm submitting this. This is, God, his name popped right out of my head. Anyway, this is a fairly rare variant. I love that cover. It's really nice. So again, this is probably a sell. To fund myself, I listen to the experts. I'm big fans of Jim Mint and Very Gary and stuff, and I make the hobby pay for itself, I guess, is what I'm trying to stumble through. So if you can submit 10 books and you only keep a couple, and you can flip the other 8 and make a profit and hopefully pay for the expense of the books themselves and the CGC process, you can keep a CGC submission, continue to roll, continue to keep submitting books every so often, depending on how fast they build up and how fast you sell them, and you can make your hobby pay for itself, So that's what I tried to do. Otherwise, I'd end up going broke. And here we go, Star Wars: The Old Republic from Dark Horse number 6. This is the first appearance of a Darth somebody. I can't remember. I'm not the world's biggest Star Trek fan. Star Wars fan. I do enjoy it, but not enough that I remember. This goes for $40-$50. I can't remember who it is. It's got the first appearance of some Dark Lord of the Sith. Maybe if I remember, I'll throw his name up on the screen here when I'm editing this video. So that is definitely a sell. Another personal keeper. This is one of my all-time, oh, I got 2 books, one of my all-time favorite covers. Cosmic Ghost Rider number 4. This is like a New York City con variant. And it kind of looks like a hodgepodge at first, but as I pick it up and be careful with it here, you can start seeing all the Ghost Riders kind of through history. So there's Johnny, oops, sorry, and then you have, I think it's just, I can't remember if they just call him Ghost, the million BC variation down there, and then, you know, another Ghost, I don't know which, oh, that's Cosmic Ghost Rider, obviously, and then, so that's Frank Castle, and then Ghost, and then you have Johnny, and then if you kind of turn it, you got Robbie, and he's Charger, and so just all of them banging forward on that, that cover is one of my all-time favorite covers. I love that with all the Ghost Riders. So this is a PC. I'm anticipating a 9.6 or a 9.8. Hopefully. I don't think it looked like there was much wrong with it, so it doesn't really matter for my own personal collection. It's a respectable cover, so I'll keep it either way. So I'm just excited to get it slabbed and in my collection. This is Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme number 1. I think this is another hip-hop variant. I anticipate, even though with some of the black I haven't seen any spine ticks, it cleaned up really nice. So again, outside of anything I didn't see, I'm expecting again hopefully a 9.6 or a 9.8. You know, this is a cool book. Some people really like these hip-hop variants. I can't remember if this is one based on an album cover. I might have to double check that and put it up on the screen if that's true. But this goes for, you know, a handful of bucks and graded in a high condition. You know, when Doctor Strange comes back out, I'm anticipating that movie hype kind of maybe picking up the price of some of these. So hopefully we'll pick up a little cash from that. So, and last of my 12 that we're sending in this first part of this is Predator number 1. Sorry, trying to block the sun there. First appearance of Predator in comics. At first glance, this looks spectacular. There's no real color breaks or anything, but there are enough condition issues, you know, on a 30 or 40-year-old comic, how many years old this is, that, you know, I realistically, if it comes back a 9.4 or a 9.2, I couldn't fault CGC. There are probably enough condition issues that it might not come back a 9.6 or a 9.8. In fact, I would be very shocked if it did, but it's still in good enough condition to get a high 9, or a mid 9 anyway, low 9, I'm sorry. Yeah, low to mid 9 is what I'm expecting. So, you know, that'll be a sell too if another Predator movie comes out, or if the Predator hype, having had Marvel pick it up recently and add it to the MCU, picks up. But that's a pretty cool book, but nothing I'm really interested in. And again, if I can get money to pay for my hobby by flipping these to keep others, then that's what I'll do. So this has been the first part of this 2-part video. I didn't want to make each one too long, so these will each be about 12 minutes long. I'll have my buddy, he's coming over to film his, I think, 13 books tomorrow, and he has some really high-end, nice modern books. I mean, a couple of them are in the $1,000 range, so stay tuned for that. Pretty excited, and we'll get this bundled off, and hopefully in a few months, you know, depending on how fast CGC moves, we'll see how well our predictions are and what kind of grades we got. So if you like this, feel free to subscribe and like, and I appreciate your time. Have a good one, guys.